Hai guys. Apa nih? Custom. Custom. Ah. Jadi kita bakalan story dari Dehya. Oke, let's go.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of—
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusayla, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. That person will then pack the caravan for— Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded?
No value?
Yeah, every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora. Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much— Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazaman Homaya.
Homoyani? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
Waduh.
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazaman Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of— Just what the heck is going on here? I'm sorry, you're right. But what this piece of paper can—
What if the Homoyanis have been kept in the dark?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan— They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from caravan— Yeah.
But
I honestly have— I've been to their estate many times. The only potential— But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would You're probably right. I know, my lady.
what should we do now?
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early. Let's go find my lady again. If we're lucky, we can not only figure—
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if it's—
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe— She showed genuine concern for me when we— That's not how I deal with—
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
Yeah. Let—
Oke.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected.
Actually, we're still in—
I see. The clues you found,
Something like that.
you all look a little dispirited. Why don't you discuss it with me?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being—
So something is wrong. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad, we're back! So tell—
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean—
Thank you for sharing all this since you've told me everything you know. I should also... In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me, so... However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30.
About that. Well, the Homayanis later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen. He offered me a pile of more.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone. I think I get what you're saying.
Precisely. At first glance, if my father had always been in contact with the...
You mean the goal all along was to...
No, that's too much of a stretch.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility.
So, the master was not likely an innocent...
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. Regardless of his reasons, if my father...
But is that... My father is... However, if we decide to investigate this further...
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask...
You don't have to do that, my lady.
Hey! It's still too early to give up hope! What was that thing about friendship? Right, yeah, trust! You said that yourself! Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts!
Thank you, everyone. That makes... In which case, my lady?
Sure thing. I also...
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This...
Yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time, but we may skip all the pleasantry.
Well, we wanted to bring...
So, that's what you found? Huh.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like...
Well, it's a long and difficult... What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no...
Wait.
Yes. I understand perfectly why you came to see me, but knowledge always comes at a... Your father, Kusayla, and I... Of course, you have the right to... The facts of this matter may reduce everything you... If you must proceed, then Kusayla...
His heartfelt effort. I've made it this far in life. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world. As well, I came here today to support you as the head of...
I understand. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad... They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. Those Eremites were Kusayla's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. Kusayla was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad.
Really? I never...
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. We started talking about our children, and to repay his kindness, I hired his brigade.
So, that's what...
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced.
So, what happened to him? He was...
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was he then suddenly asked me if at the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particular... But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts. I was completely lost at first. Until...
So he was the one who recommended...
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw... He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that if Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard...
And that's why you offered her such...
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he... And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked... Kusayla saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert.
He was always like that.
Kusayla said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. Eventually, I just accepted them, as the letter contained a request.
Wait! Isn't that...
That's right. When I started... But by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. That thought occurred to me as well. After some deliberation, I decided to send him. I am aware that, in the end, it probably was.
If you can, please, none of the things he's doing right now make any... If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then...
Oh, no.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions. I don't know, but I guess you do have a point.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, I don't know Kusayla's exact whereabouts. However, there's a man on the list named Jawa. He's responsible for supplying I've heard that he likes to have a...
Understood.
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, my father has indeed done something wrong, but if I feel like our only course of action is to turn
Yes. It's time to face.
Telepon pada malam hari. Oke. Ini teleponnya malam hari. Dilihat malam hari.
Huh?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you come with me? We should take this elsewhere. This place should do. All right. Back to my question.
Don't worry about...
Wait. There's no need to...
So what's in it for you?
Well, I was a little I waited in my mind.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakar. If you provide some help for us, then we...
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first?
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary...
All right. Sheesh. They're always on the move. Feel free to go have a look.
Sure. And then you...
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us?
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a...
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get... Seems like we're in... Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusayla. Tell him to get out here.
Dehya, why are you here?
Rain.
Where do you think you're going?
Game's up. Fun's over.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so you also need to stop us.
Stay out of this. It's got nothing to do with you.
Kamisato art. Sometsu. This made her look. Huh? Yeah. My apologies. Yeah. Yeah.
Take my leave.
No.
Enough fighting. We all know each other. Just bring Kusayla to me. Did you understand a single word I just said?
All right, everyone, let's all just call... Dehya. He died.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though.
When did he die? What?
A few years ago, Kusayla broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's relics.
So is that when you guys started acting?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Let me start from the beginning.
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable...
Those were a part of it, yes. But regardless of whether they joined by their own will, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the records, that's precisely it. Every one of us have... But you, Dehya, you were never asked to...
I never even knew...
You were probably the only person in all of Desh...
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield... Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again.
We all knew he was doing that.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't...
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between when you left home after that final argument with him? He seemed to age by a...
So, even the Blazing Beast?
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire...
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members... But how could we leave with a clear conscience?
The boss can't have just died for nothing.
From that point on, the big fire that Boss started was quite a blow. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding, but we won't let any of them escape.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, all we can do is exchange our... We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former... We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and...
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. We used to always laugh at him for... As for me, I never considered... But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's all I know is that Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah. Paimon...
Thank you.
I bet Boss would lose it.
Considering all the losses and injuries...
He can think whatever he... But the fact...
Ya, kita lepaskan. Loh. Kalau dari sini aja. Dari jalur udara. Pusaka desa dahsyat. Di bawah.
Is this the entrance? We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
Kita masuk domain tadi.
The campaign begins. Who's our target this time?
Fire, nggak perlu. Tahu ya. Oh, pakai Dehya.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect...
They should all be holed up in here.
Who cares? We'll round up...
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could...
Yeah, We'll know what they're really Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
Wih. Shotnya bagus, Mas.
You are not welcome here.
Look alive! A minute to memory.
Quietly now.
Shine down.
Where do you think you're going?
Things are about to get dicey.
New punching bag.
Sharing my knowledge.
Gotcha.
Illusion shattered. Inazuma shines eternal.
Need
There is no escape. Embrace the ice. Buckle up. You're dead meat. Whirling snow.
you.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Sampai.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Betul, Pak Iman. Itu tuh. Sudah aku dengar.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just...
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this,
Don't worry about us. We knew something. Let's go! We can't let the boss...
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it...
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked.
Okay, let's...
Mekanisme. Oh, bawah.
Shine down! This may pretty look...
Here comes the catch.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Kedengarannya. Oh, ini arah sana. Oh, diputar sama warna dan ini ke atas, ini buat ke bawah. Good. Oh, ini ke bawah. Good. Dari sini. Dan
There is no escape! My apologies! Kami-sato art! So let's... Torn to oblivion!
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Look alive! Gloves off!
Oh iya ya lah kan ya.
Quietly now.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Gotcha. Take it easy.
Oh.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Oke. Oh. Apa trap lagi nih? Coba sih trapnya.
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it, but as a desert dweller, I suppose.
Don't waste your breath.
Run. I witnessed the golden age of Dehya. Even now, my brothers are the greatest.
So you want to...
Let us draw our... They are but two. Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Busted. Things are about to get dicey.
Torn to oblivion!
Don't think that you've won. You're just getting started.
Sakura swirl!
Gotcha.
For dead meat!
Well, New King Desperate will not abandon any one of his followers.
Here comes the catch! Inazuma shines eternal!
Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
You all just wanna die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Things are about to get dicey.
Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
The commander has finally fallen!
But they're still coming at? This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just...
Yes! Keep fighting!
When the next wave comes, I'm going to see if I can take out that...
Masih biasa aja. Oh, ini pasukan kita datang nih. Oh, kan.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken...
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like...
So...
Time to pay for everything.
I will be buried in the sand.
Ya, nggak usah ini.
Hey, wait!
Kok apa sih? Kok kayak ini cerah banget? Oh. Asik banget ya. Itu apa ini? Butiran.
We were too late.
Oh.
It's over. But if you're still going to cling on to your
Lari kan?
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Bagus, bagus.
Let's go.
Lah, ya. Dehya pernah.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pest-
You call yourself a member?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name- Why would I-
This is your last-
Hey, if you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves?
The iron. His life became a light for so many. Yet, where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? Kusayla. Watch your mouth. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down, but in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he couldn't have possibly. And after that.
Stop wasting our time. Tell me, where.
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ash. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the other. Spare them no.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
So, this was his final destination. How did he... If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must...
Dehya.
I'm sorry. I know it's...
Is this a cane?
Kusayla.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that.
Let's split up and look around some more.
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Ya selesai harusnya. Jangan kau putra ini kau sudah memiliki Oke.
What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up, and Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You look super These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy. Hey, this way you get something from the Anyway, the point is that you should eat. Dunyarzad will also be here.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. But when everything came to an end, those emotions, it was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look, despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand, we're hypocrites. All of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pit.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just Huh?
Paimon will explain. Oh?
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better.
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well.
Dehya, your pain must be...
Hey, don't worry about me. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense.
I understand how you...
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my... It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father. Even if the ending of the story...
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a... Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug.
We'll come along, too.
I can't thank you enough for...
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Oh, this rug here is quite some...
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who... Wait, are you here?
What are you talking about? Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al... But when I got there, I found...
Ah, so you
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned... I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusayla. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, one of the injured members gave this box to me, and everything left in the camp will get confiscated.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains...
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any more... But let's see what's in... What's this? It's just a bunch of junk.
Perhaps it...
A handwritten copy of a story. It was against the academia's rules to possess books for personal...
That probably means this was
and here are a few bags of children.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just... Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, a wool scarf, which... From the looks of it, probably... I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of...
Huh?
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't... I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just... To Dehya. It's all right. I'll just read it out. If you...
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and... If you're reading this letter, then you were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying, but once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute.
Can you believe this guy?
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know, the reason being that...
Wait, what?
Sure, I don't...
I was quite formidable when I was young, and I really felt like the whole world was under my feet. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and you were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny but your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. Anyway, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
In the end, he was still thinking of me as I suppose, or I would have...
He was a good father to you.
Yeah.
Do you already have some idea?
I do. If he first... I just have one wish. That there once existed a childish and that only under his care...
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us?
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. My life has certainly had its twists because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible...
Tinggal si Baizu dapat platform aja, belum ya.